Hi there, this is Doris Spencer of Library Arts, and today I want to share with you a super fun project where we're going to create a snowman literally bursting out of his frame, ready for action. Inspired, of course, by the wonderful book series Snowman at Night. We're going to have a textured snowman in relief, popping out of a frame, ready for a night of fun. Let's get started by going over the materials. I'll see you back here soon. Okay, let's go over the contents of your kit. You're going to have a snowman made out of these 3 wood rounds connected with a craft stick. You're going to have some felt pieces for scarf and hats. You're going to have a couple snowman arms to go with your little snowman character here. You're going to have some glue. This is glue. This is a little bit of black paint. You're going to have a container with a little bit of white glitter, some gems, and some little tiny foam spheres. You're going to have some white gravel and a craft stick for your glue, a skinny stick to apply the black paint, a tiny little triangular nose for your snowman, and a little sheet of paper just to give you some guidance on making a hat and scarf for your snowman. Finally, you're going to have your frame. Now your frame is already going to have paper attached on the back to create a backdrop for your snowman. You may be blue, it may be slightly pink or a lighter blue, but the paper's already glued in for you, so you're all set to go. Now, there are 2 extra things I'd like you to have if possible. A pair of scissors for cutting the felt. And if you feel like you need to draw shapes on the felt, you could always, have a marker nearby for that. And a little bit of tape. That will help when we're adding the arms onto the back of the snowman so it can hold them in place while they're drawing, okay? So those are the 2 additional things you may want to have with your project. Next, we'll talk about putting together the snowman and creating the backdrop for your picture. See you in a minute. Okay, let's get started putting your snowman together. So this is the back of the snowman, so you don't need to worry about putting anything there. This is the front. If you see some little hot glue strings like I have on mine, just pull them off. We're going to first start by building a layer of sort of snow gravel on top of our snowman. And so you're going to need your glue and your craft stick, and what you're going to do is carefully scoop out some glue and put a nice thick layer of glue on top of each circle, just like that. I'm going to do the second one. And if you don't want this glue to drip, just wipe it on the lip and you won't get the drip. That's what I always like to tell my students. Wipe it on the lip, you won't get the drip. Here, wiping it again, putting a little extra glue. You're not going to use all of the glue up, nor should you for this. It really doesn't take that much glue to attach this. So put that glue on smoothly. I like to use the side rather than the edge because the side of the craft stick will really make it go down smooth, like you're frosting a little cake, if you will. Okay, let's put that aside. And you might notice I have paper towel on top of my tabletop underneath my snowman because I want to catch any extra gravel that might fall onto the tabletop. That's why I have it there. So now I'm going to move this lid out of the way and I'm going to get my gravel. And I'm just going to sprinkle the gravel and gently press it onto the snowman like so that it sticks nicely like this. Sticks nicely. If you see any loose pieces, you can take them off, maybe put a smaller piece in there, but there's one. And again, you shouldn't use all the gravel up for these. There should be enough gravel to use in your background too, which I'll show you in a few minutes. Look for any areas on the side, and if you feel like you need to add a bit more glue to hold a few of the edge pieces on, of course, that's perfectly fine. but do your best to kind of secure the gravel. Give it a little press with your fingers to make sure everything is stuck. Okay, and then let's put some on the top of my snowman. I just love texture. I have to have texture in almost everything I do. I think it's more fun, and it's just something that I do in a lot of my projects because I love the way it looks, I love the way it feels, and I think it gives our project a lot more visual interest. Now, gently tap off any extra gravel and then press any loose pieces in. I'm gonna put that aside for a moment so I can just quickly, and this is what I do with glitter all the time, pick up the extra gravel. And this is why I have a paper towel here. Make a little funnel and shake that extra gravel right back into my bag. And wow, I have a lot of gravel I can still use. Isn't that great? Now, to give our snowman a little fun, we're gonna take the 3 little cups here, the one with the white glitter. And you don't need all the glitter, so I would just put a little bit of it in your hands, but keep some left over. And we're gonna sprinkle it over each of the circles. It's going to stick wherever there's some white glue. So wherever you see white glue in between, you can just sprinkle it on top and it gives your snowman a little sparkle. You'll see it better in person than you can on the film. I'm gonna close that up. Next, we're gonna use that glue again to add the little carrot nose. So I'm just gonna put a little tiny bit of glue around the middle of the face. I like my nose to go at an angle, so I'm doing at a slight diagonal here, and I'm just going to glue the snowman's nose on like that. Now, to give him a little face, I'm gonna open up the black paint. This is where your toothpick comes in handy because you can use it like a little brush and give him one eye here just by dabbing the black onto the gravel. There's another eye. You want to go a little bit higher, make this one a little bit bigger too. So you don't need a lot of paint. If you have a paintbrush at home and you want to use that, you can. But I think this is actually gives you a little bit more control because you're just dabbing it. And we're making a little smiley face as if he's got little coal there. So it's like a little smiley snowman, maybe a little bit more here. And then you can do black coal buttons, or you can use the gems later on to do that. So I'm gonna put my black stick over there. Here's my snowman. Now I do have 2 arms that I wanna add to the snowman. So what I'm gonna do is take a little tape, put it underneath the arm where I want it to go, take some of my glue, whoops, this is where the tape can be handy because while the glue is drying, you have that glue to hold it in place. I'm gonna put the glue on top of my arm, stick it underneath the snowman and press it in place. And I'm picking it up just a little bit so I can, there, get it exactly where I want it, and then use the tape to secure it. Flip it over briefly to show you the tape is securing it on the back. Now I'm gonna make my other snowman arm the same way. And then I want you to do it on your own and then join me back here once that is all set. So again, I'm gonna take a piece of tape, put it on the back of the pipe cleaner. So it's right here on the back. This is the front, no tape here. Take a little glue, put it on the arm. The glue is what's really gonna hold the arm in place, but we want that tape to hold it while it's drying. So I'm just pressing down, and then again, I'm gonna pick it up gently and rub that tape in to hold it in place so that while I'm moving him around, the arms aren't going to fall off. Any glue that gets on the pipe clear, don't worry, that's going to dry clear. So that's your snowman. Let's put him aside to dry so we can start working on the background. See you in a minute. How did your snowman turn out? It should be still quite wet, so I wouldn't play with it too much at this point. Allow that glue to dry. Even some of my rocks are trying to come off at this point. One thing I forgot to do, and I want to do now before we move on to the frame, is the hat and the scarf for our snowman. So this is where your paper can give you some ideas. You want the hat to curve around the snowman's head. So I have some purple and green here, and I'm thinking I'd like him to have a green hat. And I just put random colors in each packet. So I'm looking at the paper here and I'm saying, okay, it's sort of like a donut shape. So I'm gonna just get a marker that works first of all. My marker doesn't seem to be working there. I'm gonna try to make an oversized arch using a pen on my felt. Make sure I give it a little bit of an arch also on the bottom so it looks something like this. Looks like sort of a helmet shape or a turtle shell shape. Gonna cut it out with scissors, and sharp scissors are a must when it comes to felt, so you might need an adult to help you cut this out. Let's see if it fits. I think it could be a little bit bigger. So this is sometimes what you have to do. You have to say, okay, that wasn't big enough, so make another one. Trial and error is all part of a day's work when you're working in art. So I'm gonna make this wider, bigger, like this. Make another shape, cut it out. And so you have to be a teacher who's willing to make a mistake or try something and it doesn't work, because how will your students be able to try things if you're not willing to try something and say, whoops, try it again. That's the only way you're gonna get better, okay? So let's see how this one works. Ah, much better. That looks like a hat that could really fit my snowman. Now, the second thing you want to do is the little band on the bottom of your snowman. So I'm going to put my hat here, use it as a guide right here. By putting it here, I can use it as a guide to see how big my band should be. Maybe a little bit wider than the hat itself. So I can glue it on. So I'm going to make that purple. Okay, I'm going to cut this out. And again, trial and error. I did not cut these things out in advance. Let's see how it looks. Oh, I think that looks pretty good. Right? Here's my little band. So I'm going to glue that on. Just going to give it a little bit of a trim on top to even it out. Just a hair here and here. And now I'm going to take a little bit of my glue, put it on the felt to hold my band on. Let's see, just like that. And I'm not worried about any glue showing because that's going to disappear. Okay, here I'm going to use this little scrap to make a little circle like this. And this circle is going to go at the top like a little beanie on top of my hat. So we'll put a little glue here and a little circle there. Now, let's see how that's going to look on my snowman. Put my snowman back here. Cute little hat. I like that. So I'm just going to trim off the two little triangles I see of the green coming out underneath my hat. And I like that. Jaunty little hat. Going to put it on over here on my snowman, going right on top of the gravel, like this. And I'm going to stick my hat right there near his eyes. Now, another thing that I thought would be fun, and you can use this in multitude ways, but these little spheres are really kind of fun because you can use them to decorate your hat. You could put polka dots on it. I was thinking to put a few of these on the beanie here, like this. Here's a purple one. Here's a blue one. Here's in kind of a peachy colored one. I just thought it might look cute, and I think that honestly, if I can, I might even put some on the scarf. There, I like that. Just a little bit there, and maybe even on the edge of my hat. So have a little fun like this. Put a little glue. Put a few little spheres just to give it a playful little, whoopsie, little rim. Just something fun. And by the way, if you have a tweezer, you could use a tweezer to pick up these little spheres and put them on that way. I think I need just a tiny bit more glue, and I just think it adds a little more texture and fun to the hat. Not too serious, just a bit of fun. Okay, there's our hat. Now let's pick up these little spheres, get them out of the way, and let's work on a scarf. Now I have leftover purple, and I kind of like that purple for a scarf. So this time I'm just gonna cut it out. I'm not really going to make a pattern. I just say, okay, it's a little narrower here, gets a little wider here, and let's see if that works. Oh, that's cute. Okay, I like that. Maybe I'll just cut this at an angle. I think that's better. It looks like maybe he's holding his scarf. That's a cute look. So what I'm gonna do here again is I think I'm gonna put some of those little spheres on my scarf. Maybe I'll do one line kind of down the middle. You could do it just on the end if you wanted, or maybe I'll do it in the middle and on the end. I don't know, I'm just gonna have fun with this. So work on your scarf, work on your hat. Afterwards, just glue it right at the neck, and I'll see you back here soon. Okay, did you get your snowman's hat and scarf done? And you know, if you really wanted to, you could use your scrap felt to make little mittens, whatever you would like. Now in the middle here, as I told you before, you could use the black paint to make buttons, but I'm thinking that I'd like to use a few of these gems for the buttons on his body. So I'm gonna put a few on my felt, find a few I like. I think I like this red one. Maybe I want to do something with green. Oh, here, blue. Here's a green, blue. I see. Maybe green, blue, and blue, maybe to kind of go with, or maybe a green, blue, and a purple would sort of match his outfit. I think that's what I'm going to do. So again, just figuring it out as I go along. I think I'm going to put a little dot of glue here for my first green gem. There's one. And then I'm going to put a little dot of glue here for the blue one. Whoopsie, wrong side. Let's get that fixed. The blue one. And then I'm going to put one more right here for the purple one. Just like that. So those are his little buttons, the classic kind of buttons you might put on a snowman. Whoops, there's my green one. Green, blue, and purple. And I like that. So now I am going to put my snowman aside, and we are going to focus on the background while our snowman dries. Okay, see you in a minute. Have fun. Okay, once you have your snowman done, your scarf, your hat attached, you're going to place your snowman onto the frame. Now you can see where I have put glue to hold my snowman carefully in place. And I pushed him into the snow a little bit, just to look like he's sitting on the snow. That glue is going to need time to dry. You can add your own gems to decorate it. You can even put gems on the frame, but he's going to have the look of him bursting out of the frame, which I think is fun. It's very characteristic of the book Snowman at Night. So this is where we're going to end the program. And you're going to go ahead and finish up adding your snowman to your background. And when it's dry, you'll be able to stand it up and you'll really have a fun snowman bursting out of his frame, looking for action and fun. This is Doris Benter of Library Arts. I hope you enjoyed this program today. And in the meantime, I hope you stay safe, stay creative, and stay well. Take care.